my fellow Rotarians, and welcome to this, my podcast for August. You may have heard by now that District 1150 ours are aligned to a cluster with three other districts, namely 1100, Bristol and West, 1175, Devon and Cornwall, and District 1200, that's Gloucester and some parts of Wiltshire. My fellow DGs and I have been working together for some 2 years plus now, planning and mapping out a strategy as to how we can get better value from working in a cluster and as a much larger team, collaborating, sharing, and taking action where we can, merge activities and officers to best effect. As RI Vice President Nikki Scott puts it, we are the leading group in the whole of the UK and are her example as to how clusters are supposed to work. So there is much work going on there behind the scenes and very much nothing for you to concern yourselves with. My focus this month has been on the Eisteddfod, Rotary Youth Leadership Awards, or RYLA, Ukrainian support, a conference, and RI Vice President and Chair of RGB&I Board, Nikki Scott, visit to our district. And of course, membership, creating new clubs and getting the InSync project through to its second trial. This was successfully voted on at the Special District Council meeting held on Saturday, the 13th of August. The steering group has now been formed with immediate past District Governor Ray Bevan as the chair, Julian Pratt as lead, Peter Hamilton and Philomena Dunkelman. They will now work with InSync to gather further data and hopefully identify and deliver new members. If you would like to be a part of this work and act as a club champion, please do contact one of these hardworking Rotarians. Now, my grateful thanks go to Kistia Romea and Maggie Hughes and all the team who delivered on a very successful Eisteddfod. It was a real pleasure to visit the mice with immediate past District Governor Ray on Tuesday, the 2nd of August. This was my first ever visit to an Eisteddfod, and it was a real eye-opener. It certainly made me conscious of my inability to speak Welsh, but at the same time made me very proud to be Welsh. We met a number of Rotarians working on the stand, all of whom were very gracious and welcoming and clearly enjoying themselves, chatting to people and encouraging many to join Rotary. I know that Rotarian Dr. William Williams and his wife Catherine were quite successful in this signing up of 3 adults and a Rotaractor in the short time that we were there. Well done to you both. I have not heard of any further successes as yet. I was also very pleased to have met Dewi Hughes, who spoke to me about a fair playing field on the Welsh language, suggesting that the district website be in a dual language. I must say that I have every wish to see that come to fruition at some point in my year as DG. I also had the pleasure of meeting Hywel Wyn Jones, who has since translated my last podcast into Welsh and has kindly agreed to do this again for this second podcast. Thank you, Hywel. I'm always very grateful to you, as I'm sure are all of our Welsh-speaking Rotarians. The Rotary Youth Leadership Awards, RYLA, has now concluded its 3rd and final programme. I was delighted and very privileged to have been able to attend 2 of the 3 courses, staying overnight at the centre, and joining in the activities with the students. This enabled me to physically participate, observe the activity and instruction, and at first hand. Thus, I am able to assure those clubs who send students on this leadership course that our students are in safe hands. The directing staff, led by Andrew Meek and Alistair, are professional, qualified, and quite superb at doing their job, as are our administrative team, led by Rotarian Rob Fry and ably assisted by Rotarian Hayley Ridge Evans. Now, more than this, I now believe that this RYLA is a jewel in the district crown, and the one that we should continuously promote and actively fill every vacancy with students. We are missing a trick by not having every club participate and send students to Storey Arms. The spin-off in terms of publicity, prestige, potential Rotaract membership, and awareness of the good that Rotary does is all bound up in this course. I am now urging all clubs to sign up and fill up next year's courses and reap the benefits of the success that comes from investing in finding and placing students on this course. And before closing on this subject, I must mention the Rotary Club of Abergavenny's president, Robert Parker, who was instrumental in finding and placing 5 Ukrainian students on the final course, where I was able to get to know them and observe them in action, in particularly the cave-in activity. They certainly shone through as positive, helpful, willing to learn, and mature beyond their years. Model students and an example to the rest of the course. It was quite tough when speaking to them to learn where they were from in the Ukraine. Kherson, Harvik, and Kiev, names of places that we are now all too familiar with in terms of understanding the war and the devastation reaped upon these people and their cities. Now, moving on, the foundation team. I am very grateful to the foundation team, including, again, the immediate past District Governor Ray, who have been very busy organizing, managing, and allocating funds to clubs and other identified Ukrainian refugees from the Disaster Response Fund, and of course, Ray's budget. This work continues with great success. There are approximately 2,500 Ukrainian refugees that have been identified here in southern Wales. And I fear that there will be more need that we can possibly cope with in the coming months, and can only hope that RI continues to allow districts to draw down funds from the DRF. RI Vice President Nikki Scott has indicated that she would like to visit our district and has expressed her wish that I and my team now work on this and plan a visit with a possible date of the 14th, 15th of October. We hope to be able to accommodate her near Bridgend so that she can visit Rotarians in West Wales and in the Cardiff areas. More on this to follow once we have firmed up our plans. Now, my district conference for 22-23, my committee led by DGE Mary is working on a plan to hold a face-to-face district conference. This will be the first in 3 years. The venue is booked, the speakers have been identified, and the theme will be poverty and Rotary interventions. We are hopeful that this will be appealing to all, and once the planning has been firmed up, the information will be sent out and a registration will be placed on the district website. So please, save the date, Saturday, the 22nd of April, 2023, for this very exciting event. So that's Saturday, 22nd of April, 2023, for this exciting event. I've had the pleasure and privilege of visiting a number of clubs this month, namely Brecon Rotary, Abergavenny Rotary, Maesteg Rotary, and this evening Llanelli Rotary, and of course my own club, Rotary Bridgend. So that is my update for August. Thank you for watching and listening, and I look forward to my September edition of Morgan's podcast. Thank you all, stay safe, and goodbye for now.